Hey, what's good YouTube? Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my City Skylines and Modded Let's Play series. Today we are going to enter on the final stretch of this series. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so on the last episode we have built a bunch of random stuff. We have completely decorated this nature reserve park. We have also ended up the winter themed park over here. We have finished up the zoning of it. We still have to plant a lot of trees and decorate all of this thing. And finally we have also placed this shipyard that is working very effectively. Even though we have some small details to address, such as decorating some areas of the city with trees and rocks, we are pretty much done with this city, with the exception of one thing, and that is the zoning of this little segment of island that we have over here. So just to give you a bit of context behind this, if you have not been following me since the beginning, this is the island where I have started my city, pretty much. This was the initial interchange that I have remodeled over the past year, and as we can see, it seems that we have quite a bit of traffic issues. It's been a long time since I've been here, so perhaps this should be addressed. Maybe I should even convert this to a two-way off-ramp, but that's something that I will worry at a future stage when I'm remodeling the entire traffic of the city. But anyway, what I have in mind for this final stage of the city is to end the building of the city in the exact same location where I've started. So this was the initial part of the city, where I've started the city, as I've said, and I am going to end this city by building stuff in this corner of the island. So we are going to finish at the exact same place where we've started. So that's something that I'm gonna do today. I am gonna make a road layout over here. I think I'll start by deleting all of these trees and also placing the initial roads. And I will meet you guys in a couple of minutes to resume and start zoning some stuff in here. Alright guys, here we have it. I have spent the last 40 minutes or so designing this layout, and here's the final result. This is not very different from the stuff that I usually make, so you're probably not surprised by seeing this. So let me just tell you a bit about the connections and what I have in store for this layout. Okay guys, so as you can see we have a lot of connections to the city. We have one of them over here, which connects to the Loganagel timber processing units. Then I've also continued the avenue, our first coastal avenue, so to say. I've continued it to this side of the island, and I've pretty much wrapped around the entire layout. This is going to be the main avenue of this layout. Then I've also made several connections to this, what's the name of this, soft paper factory. So we have a lot of connections over here, and the layout connects directly to it. Then I've also filled in the gaps between the roads with this amusement park pathway, the red one, with trees, which I believe turned out quite alright. I have also left a total of 13 blocks between parallel rows so that I could put in a pathway right in the middle block of the layout, right between the two roads. I have a full 4-block building zone in both sides, and also I have a 1-block gap between the pathway and also the buildings, which I believe is going to give this area a bit more of a breathable space, which it's something that I'm trying out. Finally, I've also put this roundabout on the middle of the layout, and the reason I've done this is because I believe this road, because it's the nearest to the highway, it's going to be the most populated road, and I believe this access is going to be overcrowded very easily. But we'll see about that. Maybe it won't be a problem because all of this is going to be low density. Okay, so with this explanation, I believe we can start building some stuff in here. The first thing that I want to do is design a district, because I want to convert all of this into a high-tech housing district. So this is going to be an area for rich people, pretty much. So let's start by drawing the district. Oh, would you look at that, it's already drawn. So one of the things that I have to do is remove the leisure specialization, because this is a district that I've used to unlock a lot of buildings. And let's just make this district a bit better, or a bit better looking. Okay, perfect, so the district is now drawn. Now we can start setting up the policies. So I want this to be a high-tech housing district, so there we go. And now we can start zoning some stuff in here. So we have a bit of demand for commercial, so I believe we can start with that. I think I'm gonna turn this central area, this central avenue that is not an avenue, into a zone dedicated for commercial, like this. So all of this can be commercial, and then the entire rest of the layout can be pretty much residential. So let's see if it works. Let's draw some residential here, some here, and also all the way until the coastal area, because that is going to be the area with the highest land value. And we need to take advantage of that to get these buildings all the way to level 5. Okay, I think that will be enough for now. Let's just provide power and water to this entire thing, and let's watch all of it develop. Alright, while this new area develops, maybe we can start focusing on services. So let's start off with healthcare. I believe a single clinic will be more than enough for this location, so I think I'll put it at the central area, such as this one. Actually, let's put it right here. And let's also put one of these buildings that we haven't put yet. We have a community pool, for example. Well, this area would be very great, a very great location for it, so let's put it here. And yeah, that seems about right. What else can I put to complement the community pool? How about a yoga garden? I think I'm gonna put one of these right about over here at the corner. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now let's move on to fire. Yes, this is going to be an issue as well, but let's put one of these. Let's actually put two of them, because you already know how chaotic fires usually are, so let's put one here and also another one. How about over here? Okay, perfect. Now let's move on to the police. We should place one next to the commercial site, right here. Okay, perfect. And now let's move on to education. In this location we will put 2 elementary schools and 1 high school. I think that will be enough to cover this entire area. So let's put 1 elementary school. It's really annoying that I cannot place these at the corners. Oh wait, here we go. Let's put one here. And finally another one right here. Okay. And finally the high school. And the great thing about leaving a 5-block gap between the pathway and the road is that I can place these types of building without destroying anything. So as you can see, I can fit an elementary school or a high school, so to say, perfectly between the pathway and also the road. Okay, pretty cool. Now let's move on to parks, which of course is pretty much covered in this area. And before I forget, as usual, we should take care of disasters, so I think one small shelter, or well, maybe two of them will be more than enough for this entire location. So let's put one here and also another one right here. Okay. Now let's draw the routes before we forget. Okay, I think this is pretty good coverage. And what about this one? Okay, perfect. And now the only thing that we have left to do here is plan out the public transport network. So this area is going to be a bit challenging because I do not have a metro connection here and I do not want to expand my metro line all the way over here. I also do not have the monorail, so the only option that we have is either connect everything with buses and make a local line, or rather a regional line that will take people from this entire location to the nearest metro station or monorail line, or I can also think about placing a train station because we have a train connection. However, that's not going to be possible because this train station only serves cargo. There's no way for our passenger line to reach this location because if you see over here, the passenger line pretty much ends at this station, and if I keep going forward, this line connects over here and it goes under the bridge and it leads outside the town. So the only way for us to make this work would be to connect this line to this junction right before it splits, so that people can leave the train station and go over this little bridge all the way over here, all the way until this location, and then I would have to connect this line to this loop so that people could cross this bridge all the way over here and eventually lead to this location. That could be possible, however that's too much work for just this little district. And because this is only low residential, there's pretty much no need for that. So I think I'll settle with buses. Or we could actually take advantage of the fact that this district is located at the riverside and use ferries. Something that we have been using throughout our city, and we have a nearest line over here. So what I think I can do is expand this line all the way over here and make a station over there. So I believe that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. So I think I will place it right about on this ledge, so that's something we can work right now. So let's do that. Okay, and now let's put this one, the one that has the bus stops, this one. Let's see if we can place it. This is not what I wanted. There we go, perfect. Now we should just try and connect it back to this avenue. Okay, there we go. This road is a bit steep, but I think it works perfectly. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Now, before we do anything else, we should connect this ferry station to the existing ferry line, so I will have to do a few modifications here. Okay, so the ferry pathway is now built. Now we need to decide how we are going to create a line that connects to this new station. So pretty much we have two lines that pass through this pathway, it's these two, and both of them connect to this ferry station, or this ferry stop right about over here. So perhaps we can take one of them and make it connect all the way over here instead. So I think I'm gonna grab the one that has the least passengers, which is this one, number 1. I'm gonna grab it. Let's see if I can do this without destroying anything. Let's just grab the pathway and put it here. Actually, why don't we make both of these lines connect? So let's also grab the ferry line number 1, which is this one. Or maybe not, let's just hide this one. And now let's grab it and put it all the way over here. So now both of these lines pass through this station. So let's just try it out. Let's see how it works. Now of course we need to connect this thing with power and water. Water, we need to create a pipe right below the road, so that's the way it's going to work out. When it comes to power, I think I'll just draw some commercial here, and that will eventually pass the power to this location. So let's also take advantage of this to zone some residential in these empty spots. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, power is pretty much connected now. To finalize the public transport network of this district, the only thing that we have left is to connect everything with bus lines that bring people from their homes to this ferry stop. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to make a couple of lines that connect this entire thing. Okay, so one line is done. Let's make a second one that will cover the left side of the district. And there we go. I think that's going to be it for public transport. Okay, and with this I believe we can resume the zoning of this district. So let's start off with commercial. Let's expand the commercial district. I also want to be very careful and try to leave the RCI demand balanced after zoning this entire thing, because this is pretty much the last bit of zoning that I do in this city. So I want to make sure that when everything is zoned, the RCI demand is kind of balanced, like how it is right now. So this is actually a good balance right now, and I want to maintain it. So let's start off with commercial. Let's proceed and zone all of these with commercial. I believe that's going to be very helpful. Perhaps this entire bit can also be commercial, and maybe the first bits of this avenue right next to the ferry stop. And now I believe I can zone the rest of it with residential. So let's do that. Let's mass zone everything. Okay, and we're done with zoning. The only bits that we have left are these ones over here, which are occupied by this power line. So I'm gonna let the power transform from this part of the city to this district without the need of power lines before deleting them, and then I will zone some stuff in here. But now I remembered that we actually forgot something very important, which is deathcare. So I am going to put a couple of cemeteries. I am going to put one right about over here. This is going to be a great place for it. And I also want to put a second one right here. Okay. And with this, we are pretty much done with services in this location. Let's just see how everything develops now. Okay guys, so a quick update on this district. We are having a bit of problems on the commercial sites, which are complaining about the lack of workers. This will fix itself over time. We just have to wait a little bit, so I'm not worried about this. I've also converted all of the roads of this district to roads with trees, with the exception of this central road right next to the commercial site, which I have converted to a road with bicycle lanes, which has no bicycles right now. So yeah, very disappointing. Oh wait, here's one, look at this. Here's our champion. I also like how the traffic situation is still very controlled in this location, so as I've predicted, we have the majority of cars using this road because it's the nearest road to the highway interchange, and we also see some people using this avenue, which is great to see because this avenue has a large capacity for traffic, and it's great that people are actually using it. And we also see some cars using this connection as well. We need to check this later on when this entire district is developed and make sure that these connections are more than enough to handle all the traffic. Let's also take a look at our ferry stop. Oh, and look at this, a lot of people are using this because it is pretty much the only source of a public transport that people have to go to other parts of the city. So They are overusing it as hell, which is great. Let's actually see the bus lines. Not the bus lines, sorry, the fare lines. We can see that these lines went for 30 passengers and 50 passengers to more than 100, which is great. Let's also see the capacity of these ferries. This one has 20 passengers out of 50, and this one has 49 out of 50, so right on the limit. And this one is bringing 2 passengers, so no big deal right now. I also think that I'm going to take advantage of the fact that this thing has so many spaces for bus lines that I'm going to create another line that will be pretty much a regional line that will start right about over here, why not, and will connect directly to our public transport hub, if I can find it. Yes, it is. It's this one. I am gonna connect it all the way over here, and I'm going to bring it back like this. Perfect. Let's just change the color of it so that we can distinguish it. It's this one, line number 97, and I want to give it a shade of pink, just like the other ones. Okay, cool. Look at his mess. Incredible. Look at the amount of fires that this city is having all at the same time. This is ridiculous. Let me just keep rebuilding these things. Yeah, this is a mess. Look at that. Alright guys, but that's going to be it for today. I am going to let the game run for a while and let all the zone buildings grow and develop in this district. This was the last neighborhood that I wanted to build in the city, so with this, the city is nearly complete and finished. The only thing that we have left is to decorate some areas that I haven't addressed yet. I also want to put up a few more unique buildings perhaps. And finally, I want to make a total review of the city and see if everything is working correctly. If there are no traffic issues, and if there are, we should fix those. And also if the city is properly supplied with water, power, and trash and education. And those are some of the things that I want to do on the next episode before I wrap up this series. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already to get notified every time I post a new City Skylines video. Thank you so much for watching guys, and as always, have fun!